It is round 20, the final round of the regular season for the 2015 Super Rugby season. Here at the Highlanders, and although we have the top six just about all sorted out, the order of which these top six teams will be coming into the playoffs is still very much in the air. These two sides we have today are definitely locked and loaded into that top six, but who will they face next week? That's what we're here to find out. Hello everyone and welcome along to Cornflakes Crib, your home of Rugby Challenge 2 and the Highlanders career mode, where we are into the final round robin match, and the Highlanders have done, it seems, just enough to get themselves into the top six. Now the Crusaders, on the other hand, these guys have really come from nowhere. We played them earlier on in the season and it was kind of one-way traffic. The Highlanders ran over the top of them 31-14. Since then though, the Crusaders have not lost a match. They sit top of the New Zealand Conference, and just their last two matches where they thrashed the Blues and the Hurricanes, it sets them up beautifully and shows just how strong this team is. We criticised them back in that early match about how they had Blind Owl playing a number 9 at scrum half. It's something that seems to be working for them, and they're still sticking with that, and being top of the table, well, you just cannot argue with how they're going. The Highlanders, a rare thing here today, an unchanged 15. They performed very well last week, taking out the Hurricanes by quite a margin of about 11 points, 28-17, if I recall that match correctly. Before that, it was a series of losses going down to the Blues and the Rebels, and a couple before that, the Sharks. They struggled for form, and this side, a big overhaul, seems to have found what the Highlanders were lacking. Can they finish the regular season on a high, or will the top of the table Crusaders prove too much for the Highlanders? Robbie Robertson, what a revelation he was last week. We seen last season, 2014, the come of age of Ohio West, who's kind of fallen off the pace a bit, but now another young number 10, Robbie Robertson, will be directing the ship once again from that fly half position. We are all set to get underway. The whistle goes, and Robbie Robertson gets this match up underway. Round 20. The Highlanders in the blue, Crusaders the red, as per usual. This matchup, round 20, as it is through McCaw.
Release.
They go driving up towards the 10-metre line. Still ball with the Crusaders. They head right, and it's there for Adam Whitelock. Oh, there's advantage for offside. How did you get that from so far away? As Corey Flynn has an absolute monstrous run. Finally taken down from Ben Smith. He took about 4 Highlanders with him. Still the Crusaders to the left. McNichol feeds it inside nicely to Carter, and now it's a run for Whitelock. We've seen how good Whitelock can be in recent matches. He is a real linchpin in this Crusaders outfit. Moody finding outside. It's McNichol again, and an ankle tap into touch puts the young winger over the line. Oh, he's had a couple of chances, has McNichol. It's only been 11 minutes, and the Highlanders are opting for a 5-man line out. Mitchell throws in, and he's been good into the team this week as well. Armitage, Robinson, over the top for Williams. Numbers over here for Stowers. Stowers still has a man with him. Oh, and it's a wobbly old pass. Osborne has to put a foot in touch to try and reel that in. And what could have been there for the Highlanders. Stowers just showed too much pace, even for Osborne, who doesn't lack any at all himself. To the front they go, and Bird takes it down for the Crusaders. And look at this from the Crusaders. Took a while to get going, but they're trudging it across field. Sideways it goes. Highlanders don't mind too much. And the going through the middle was Reed. And the Highlanders turn them over, and away they go to the right side. Mossy Manu, the big number 8, rumbles upfield. He gets taken short of the 10-metre line. Here's Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith through. He's got support of Robinson. Robinson's going to back his pace. There comes the Dag in support. He offloads to Moen. Moen or Whitelock. What a run. It's going to be Moen. What a foot race between Moen and Whitelock. I didn't think you'd get there, but he's proved me wrong, and I'm quite grateful for that. Ben Moen coming of age here in his backline moves. Robbie Robinson Wow, we talk about needing a player in the back line who can spark something off his feet. Doesn't necessarily need to be the expert bootsman, but boy, Robbie has proved to be a real star in this back line and really give it the impetus to go forward. As we've seen the last couple of weeks, he's really stepped it up a gear here for the Highlanders. Moen on the inside showed a lot of wheel as well to get there. Whitelock isn't a slow one, that's for sure. But Moen had enough. So it's 5-0 here, AMI Stadium, the home of the Crusaders. And they trail by 7. And the visitors have an early lead here. Well, it wasn't a very good day the last time these two teams met for the Crusaders. 31-14, it was a real hammering that the Highlanders dealt. They'll be wanting to repeat that dosage here as the ball squirts out to Robertson and Williams knocks on. And they'll allow that one to dribble into touch. It's picked up from the Crusaders who try to carry on, but the ref pulls them back. Well, that's one man you don't expect to make a handling error. Look at the space he had too. It was 3-on-2 overlap. And it could have been space away for Gillies Kaka. Instead, it's a scrum feed for Blindell. And the Crusaders. Good shove. Good steady scrum, and that is the power of the Crusaders pack. They come left, missing one out. McNichol cuts back in nicely for Peruiti. And he goes to ground.
Release.
Just over the 10-metre line. Highlanders half. Blindell. Whoa, Carter's hit all the pressure in the world. Dumped on his shoulders there with an absolute hospital pass. And he has spilled the beans as Osborne comes away. Find Robinson. Williams in the mix now. Puts on the fan and goes into touch. Just couldn't keep his balance in the field of play. Oh, this Highlanders team is really looking to explode. They're ticking on the edge of something special. Corey Flynn will throw in straight to Rotalik. Aaron Smith gives it to Robinson, who straightens up. Hits straight into the heart of the Crusaders defence. Aaron Smith again takes the first defender out, gives it to Sonny Bill. Sonny Bill looks at Gillies Kaka, and here he's in the space. Can he get that hot foot going? Not quite. And his pass goes out to Moen, who's a touch isolated here. Stowers is first man to the breakdown and does a fantastic job to keep it on the Highlanders side. Tameafuna to Osborne. McNichol around the bootlaces. Can't get him down. It takes Stagg on the second attempt to take the big winger to ground. Aaron Smith probably had opportunities the other way, but Stowers will do it. Don't need the gap. Stowers creates space, and he just slides in between two defenders and scores a second try. The Highlanders are on fire here. They have looked very good. But Aaron Smith, you saw him here. He should have gone left all day. He just stood up straight to Stowers. Oh, brilliant. Individual brilliance from Sherwin Stowers. The speed, acceleration, the deft work off the feet. He just skips through in between Corey Flynn and Johnny McNichol. And it's try time, that close to the line. He's a hard man to stop. It's Sherwin Stowers. We've seen him now for 2 seasons. Boy, he's a key player. Starting at outside centre today. He's been there for a couple of weeks, but he's just such a class act, no matter where you put him on the field. Here's Robbie Robinson with a second attempt on goal, and that is beautiful. He has really been up there in terms of his on-field display, whether it be ball in hand or off the tee. He has been a class act. Daniel Carter is fading in the shadows of Robbie Robinson here as Armitage finds a pass to Williams, and it's intercepted in fact, and away come the Crusaders outside to Peruiti, back in for McNichol. This has to be a try. He's stopped by Ben Smith. Fantastic defence. Blindell goes back for Carter, puts in the grubber. The Highlanders will leave this alone, and it will go dead and goal. Well, Carter trying to spark his team with something fantastic. But in the end, they've just come up with something rather drab. And the Highlanders, well, they've got a 22 dropout here. The wind is heavily to the right. And Robinson, I'd expect, will be attempting to thump this into touch. Dropout is straight into touch. Surely that will be half-time, and it will. It's hard to say what would have happened normally if that was out on the full from the 22, I guess. It's half-time now, and it is 14-0 to the Highlanders. A very good first half display. They have kept the Crusaders in check through some good defence, some desperate tackles. Johnny McNichol has threatened the line a couple of times, but as we said, at half-time, it is 14-0 to the Highlanders. The stats here, position and territory, very even, 53 and 47 respectively going to the Highlanders. 18 tackles each, very even there. Line breaks 4-2, so the Highlanders having a 50% strike rate on their line breaks, which is extremely good. Handling errors 5-1. You can't complain about the Highlanders handling errors there because it's keeping them in the match with the way they're playing very well. And 2 tries. Oh wow, what would it be like here to go back to Dunedin, back to Forsyth Bar for a week's training, knowing that you knocked off the top team in the conference a week before the playoffs? It will really damage the Crusaders' psyche, that's for sure. Let's crack on. Second half coming up. It's the Highlanders in front, 14-0 over the Crusaders. You'd expect this man, Daniel Carter, to have a few more tricks up his sleeve in the second 40. As he gets it underway, deep kick down to Williams, who finds Moen, who just straightens things up. And the Highlanders will set it up here, just outside their 22. Aaron Smith. Well, Williams ain't going to kick that away as Rotella quickly offloads to Osborne. And the fend on can't get away from Adam Whitelock. Set up again. Nasi Manu. Away to Aaron Smith. Oh, looking to kick to the corner. And an injury to the halfback. And Aaron Smith will be off. Oh, this could hurt. In the long-term things here, this could be very bad for the Highlanders. Aaron Smith comes off. Sure, an adequate replacement. The star of the grand final last year, Francois Hogard, will come on to replace him.
Crouch.
But boy, oh boy, he was looking for the touch finder. Got sideswiped, really hammered. And has caused a big headache now in the selection. Of course, still 2 very, very good scrum halves in the team, in the squad. With Fumiaki Tanaka on the stands at the moment, sitting up, watching this match. He'll be on the bench next week if there's no replacement. Here they come wide, the Highlanders though, and Stowers breaks away, finds support of Gillies Kaka, puts on the fan, and Gillies Kaka, the find of the season. How good has he been? He dots down, try number 3, goes to Kaka. Well, he didn't use the step that we've seen from him this season. He's become renowned for the step. But there it was. It was just poor old Tyler Blindale. He got the fan to the throat and the get out of my way. And it was see you later. Out of my way. Blindale, no chance. And no one could touch him. Gillies Kaka has been the form man of these last couple of weeks. Well, that should end this one as a contest, really. 19-0. The dreams of that bonus point are very real right now for the Highlanders. Here's Robinson. Puts another very good kick over. And he is being extremely good in these last 2 weeks as Robbie Robinson. He has really overshadowed Daniel Carter, which does not happen very often. The Highlanders are looking fantastic heading into the playoffs. Their form slump seems a thing of the past as Rotella. Oh, he slides through and offloads it to Robinson, who kicks ahead. Look who's coming. It's Stowers up against McNichol, and it beats them all into touch. Oh, what a foot race that was! Robbie Robinson, the man is the master at the moment. He is guiding this Highlanders team around the park like a troop of soldiers. It is outstanding display. Oh, and turnover ball. Hogard to Robinson. Offloading to the left. Williams. One more. Stowers. Osborne. Can he get it down? Oh, he's just out. That is remarkably close. And a turnover ball as well. Whitelock back to Carter, who's hammered. Mitchell gets it. Mitchell scores. And it's a bonus point for the Highlanders. Wow, pressure cooker situation right there. Braden Mitchell benefits, but how close was Osborne? Osborne and Dag battle in the corner. And Whitelock, well, you're seeing Carter. He had no room. He got monstered by Retallick. The ball squirts out, and Braden Mitchell just gets up from that ruck that we see here. And easy, there he is, just going into that ruck now. And then Boomfar stands up, sees the ball, jumps on it, play to the whistle, my friends. That is number 4. And it's actually his second try in 2 weeks as well. Braden Mitchell, boy oh boy, he's outclassing Liam Coltman at the moment, the normal number 1 starting hooker. But how good is this Highlanders side? Will we see this team again next week? Has Robinson his hardest chance of the last 2 weeks, and that one fades away. And a disappointing miss for Robbie, and he knows it too. He knows that can be the difference between winning and losing matches. When the other team actually turns up, the Crusaders just have not turned up at all. They have been comprehensively outclassed, outmuscled, outmaneuvered, and just out everything as the kickoff is long, and it's picked up from McNichol. He has been fantastic as he goes through 3 tacklers. He sets it up. 5 out for the Crusaders. Here they come. Back to Carter. Stowers nails him. And it's going to be slow ball for someone. Where's it going to go? It's back for the Highlanders. Oh, unbelievable stuff. Hogard will give it back to Robinson. And Robinson will just pump this downfield. Kaka gives chase along with Armitage. As now Blindell looks to swing it. Just about messed up from Todd. Oh, good pass from Whitelock. He finds Crotty. Oh, Crotty goes back in field. Finds Pettawitty, who's taken down a great tackle from Francois Hogard. Now they look out to Franks. Going to Moody. Carter, open to the left side. McNichol. This time he's dealt to. He finds Crotty. Crotty to Whitelock. And he's taken down. Good tackle from Kaka. Blindell to Flynn. This is good from the Crusaders as they swing it from side to side. Retallick hammers Reed, and we are still 10 out. Moody, big pass, numbers to Burn, has to be a try, no again. Super defence as McNichol, who's played so well, is being shut out completely. Tamiafuna, oh, not the best man to pass to in this situation. He sets it up nicely. Mitchell goes back to Robinson, who's just pumping this downfield. No real regard as to where it goes. Dag looks to McCourt. He goes back for Moody, keeping it alive in the running of the ball as they finally find some space for Dag. Finding Carter, and Williams shuts him down. Now it's Blindell. Blindell, very close. But he's going to keep hold of it. It looked like it was going to come back for the Highlanders. Oh, that's a good play, and it's a try. Try to win him, Whitelock. Well, it was an intense period of pressure. The Highlanders really showed the middle of their defence. But in the end, the little shell was cracked. Tyler Blindell, how good was that break? I thought he lost that ball. I was sure he lost that ball. But McCaw spots his space out wide. Williams was offside. He could not touch him. Would have been a very poor professional foul if he had. And fully deserved, I think. The Crusaders have definitely upped their game in the last 10 minutes. But they have been outplayed in all other aspects of the game. There is no question about that. And the Highlanders are very much the bogey team for the conference winners. Here's Carter. Still a couple minutes to play, and that's a very nice kick. And Carter finally shows his head in this game. He hasn't had one to remember. He'll be hoping that his playoffs games, his semi-final, shall they be there, will be a bit better than this. Couple of minutes to go here. The Highlanders have secured this victory 26-7 as it comes down nicely for Peruiti, and he offloads to Carter. Williams is in trouble. Oh, brilliant work from Daniel Carter, and he'll score for the Crusaders. In the buzzer, what an outstanding try. That is one of the dangers of going to that left side. Less players, and a break from a player like Daniel Carter really sets it up. Peruiti offloading in the tackle, and then it was Sonny Bill hit to turn. He got caught by the dummy. He looked like he was going to catch Carter, but he couldn't get there in the end. Carter dots down, and it's a poor end for the Highlanders. They have really outplayed the Crusaders, and they've just fallen asleep here in the last 10 minutes. Carter gets a try. Well worked in the end. But all it does is make the scoreboard look slightly more respectable for the Crusaders. Carter will finish this match. A dream of a kick and a dream of a finish, really, for the Crusaders. If only they could have competed for the other 70-odd minutes. It may have been a close one, but in the end it is the Highlanders who secure their spot in the top 6, and highly likely it will be in 4th or 5th. The Blues trailed them by 2 points in the lead up to today, but it won't matter what happens in the Blues game because the Highlanders secure 5 points. So that means they will lead the Blues by 7 when the Blues come out to play. The full-time score 26-14. The try scorers for the Crusaders are Carter and Whitelock. Adam Whitelock on the right wing. Daniel Carter nailed both conversions, 2 from 2. As for the Highlanders, a comprehensive match from them. They outplayed the Crusaders for 90% of the match. As a result, 4 tries going to Mitchell, Moen, Stowers and Kaka. How good is Gillies Kaka at the moment? He is a superstar. Robbie Robinson, 3 from 4, missed the 1 from way out on the wing. But not to worry, he got the job done for his team in the end. Very good at the ball in hand, Roz Robinson. Well, you can see the Crusaders really dominated the second half. They pulled back a lot of possession and owned territory. Big time domination, possession territory, 56-64. That's a big turnaround, and well, they should have done better with what they had from this match. The injury, of course, to Aaron Smith will not be good. We'll have to check that out after the match and see how long he's going to be out for. We could be without him for the rest of the season. Well, who knows? We'll check that out in a minute. Handling errors. The Highlanders made 0 handling errors in the second half. Well, take note of that because it's probably the first time that's happened. Line breaks 8-5. 4 tries, 50% line break to try ratio. That is outstanding from the Highlanders. So let's go check it out. Let's check out who we have for the playoffs, where we've finished, the other results from this final round, and of course the injury to Aaron Smith. A lot to look at. Let's check it out. So the final week of the competition, round 20, and we have a full round of matches here to go through. First up, the game we just watched, the Highlanders 26-14 over the Crusaders. Super win for the Highlanders, and it really secured that second spot in the New Zealand Conference without any arguments from anyone else. The other matches, the Waratahs 29-24 over the Hurricanes. That's a close one. The Waratahs, though, so far gone, they should be in the next round as well. The Chiefs got a close one, 28-21, losing to the Blues. Well, that's interesting. Should have the Highlanders lost to the Crusaders, the Blues would have passed them, and the Highlanders would have had to settle for 3rd in New Zealand and possibly just scraping to the top 6. The Reds carried on 28-12 over the Brumbies. The Rebels thumping the Western Force 46-18. Cheetahs with a close one, 8 points over the Stormers, and the Bulls thrashing the Lions to round out the preliminary rounds of 20 from the 2015 season. The standings, here we go. This is the big part. The Crusaders top the table, 16 matches, 13 wins and 3 losses, giving them 62 points. and securing the top spot with still a couple matches to go. There was a couple of weeks ago they had that all wrapped up. The Highlanders come back well, 12 wins, 4 losses from their season. Not as many points on the board, but 9 bonus points will please them at no end as well. 57 for them, and they put in a good season. Not as good as last year, but they'll still be pretty happy. The Blues, they were the team to beat last year. They've struggled this year, 12 wins, 4 losses as well, but this is surprising to me. The bonus points is what has put the Highlanders above the Blues. 3 extra bonus points and 3 more points, 57 to 54. The other New Zealand teams, the Chiefs 44 and Hurricanes rounded out 37. In South Africa, there was only one team ever in the South African Conference, and that was the Sharks, a 13-3 record, which is as good as anyone in the competition. The Bulls, well, they were under half. 32 points they got, 7-9 record. That is horrible. 32 points. The Cheetahs 27, 5-11. Goodness me. Stormers 14, 3-13, and the Lions at the bottom, 1 win, 15 losses for their 6 points. In Australia, wow, what a close conference Australia has come to be. Look at that. The Reds top the table. 11 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. 50 points. Only 4 bonus points for the Reds. They have topped the table, it seems. Second is the Waratahs, also on 50 points, but nowhere near as good a season. 10 wins and 6 losses, but 10 bonus points. Gives them 50 points. The Rebels further down, 34 points. The Brumbies, 33, and the Western Force, 14. So that should result in the Reds coming from Australia, and the Waratahs will qualify 6th. That means that the Highlanders will be 4th, and the Chiefs, the Blues, will be 5th. The Crusaders will come conference winners, along with the Sharks, and it will be a very close preliminary finals. Let's check out what they are, and there we have it. It is the Highlanders versus the Waratahs, and the Blues versus the Reds. So, New Zealand-Australia finals, or preliminary finals at least. It could be 3 New Zealand sides up against 1 South African side for the semi-finals. That could be huge. That could be massive. Goodness me, I don't think South Africa really deserve a team in those finals at all. So that, we can have a look at the bad news from this week's game. It is the injury. Let's check out the mail first. That's going to tell us what's going on. Well, first up here, the Highlanders are celebrating last night after they were confirmed as qualifying for the 2015 Super Rugby playoffs. Ben Smith was buoyant, and he had lots to say, and very cliche stuff as well. That's good stuff. Here we go, Aaron Smith. He's going to be out for 1 week, so he is going to miss a preliminary final, and he should be back, should we make it, into the semi-final. Well, that is interesting. And that is us for this final round-robin match. We're into the preliminary finals up against the Waratahs, who we played last year in the final. So this is a cracking matchup here. The Waratahs will be travelling to New Zealand to Forsyth Bar Stadium for the preliminary final. And that wraps me up for today. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you again next time for the preliminary finals of the Highlanders career mode. And that is just 3 weeks to go, possibly, if we can make it to the final again. But it could all end very abruptly. The Waratahs, Highlanders, Forsyth Bar Stadium, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching, and take care.